Welcome to the MFP Report here on YouTube. Um, Things that I will be talking about today in terms uh, of 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 this, and one of them is we are now sort of in a period in terms of things that have happened that, of course, in terms of things that have happened, in terms of Hollywood stars that are passing away, that kind of, I don't know if I want to say the word affects, but you know might be a word that I could use, but again, uh, you or me or whomever of of and because because he was a guy that played on TV. Adam West did affect me. Now, granted, it wasn't anything big, like, but the fact of the matter is that I watched him, even though I agree with a lot of people in saying that kind of not my Batman, because the way, and I understand of the way that those people that show is set up to be, of how he played the character, and how it wasn't a serious, it wasn't a serious, it was a comic book show that was comic booky. A lot of the stuff that they did in that show was stuff that went in the comic books at the time, and did get some of the characters right. Now they created a few characters here and there for the TV show, but they actually did get some of the characters right. And the fact of the matter is, they got Batman and Robin correct, of course, period correct, at the Joker and the Penguin and Catwoman, period correct for the time. And time and so, that was, but with a lot of people, it was a lot of comic booky, it was a lot of Bip Bam and Boom, it was a lot more, I was young when I was watching it, in the early 80s, and long off the TV, and the movie had been come long. The 1966 movie had long come and gone. The fact of the matter is, it was an enjoyable show, even though it was a little bit too comedic for me. It managed to be comedic for me, but that's what made it popular at the time. That was part of the popularity of the show at the time, and actually helped out that you had actors like Burt Ward and the late Adam West that could do that type of stuff, that could do not only the comedic stuff, but could do the fighting. They could do you know, the physical comedy, that it could do the comedy, the physical comedy, and the action. Those two guys made believe that these two guys actually existed. Now, granted, you know, you got for duly, even though they're vigilantes, they're quote duly deputized, uh, quote, law enforcers. Well, that's not Batman. Batman's a vigilante, but in this universe, he was a duly deputized thing. But you know, that's just a niggling little thing that a lot of people like myself show. And the fact of the matter is that it's a very enjoyable show. I tend to watch it now and again. Doesn't matter which episode it is, I tend to watch it now and again. And it's a classic show that's going to be a classic thing for time and memorial. You know, without that show, and shows like it's the Adventures of Superman and Wonder Woman, and even to some extent the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman, you know, we wouldn't have Arrow, we wouldn't have Flash, we wouldn't have Legends of Tomorrow, we wouldn't have upcoming things like Titans, and we wouldn't have Gotham, and we wouldn't have, you know, had Smallville and uh, Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. We wouldn't have had any of that particular stuff. So, I mean, it's a tribute to him that we actually did have it. And the fact of the matter is, you know, without it, we wouldn't have had this stuff. We wouldn't have had the boom that we're going to have in super. I mean, we've got an X-Men show coming up. We've got the Inhumans coming up. You know, and who knows what else is going to be on that new DC streaming service. Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't watched any of it, but Daredevil on Netflix, and the Defenders, many others that are probably coming up on Netflix, and of course the DC streaming service that is going to be, you know, that is going to be coming up and becoming available relatively soon, you know. And you know that's it is what it is there. And so it is, and I pay tribute to Adam West for that. And that's all I got on that. Now, let's see, what do we have to talk about? Let's see. What do we have in terms of Marshawn Lattimore versus? I still can't wait to see what he actually does in a game and if he can actually stay healthy. Marshawn Lattimore as a cornerback. If he can stay healthy, then that guy is going to be talent of what he can do on the field. You know, the guy can run. tall-ish. He's 6 foot 6 foot or 6'1", maybe it's stretching it at 6'1". You never know. Big, he's fast, and he's athletic for a corner, and that's what we want to put on the other side of of uh, Delvin Breaux. Have that pushes everybody else, Sterling Moore and all these other guys. That lends to the fact that we're going to, if everybody stays healthy, Sterling Moore and and uh, Bro and Moore and Lattimore and and what's the other guy? Swan, Monty Harris, and they all stay healthy now. There's going to be a shot that we're going to have a ton of the defensive back position. And if that's going to be the case, then be able to cover some and it will allow our very young pass rushers to develop during the season on the go. Looking at this site, Willie Snead's contract, hoping, and he's very positive that he will have a contract by the beginning of the season. He's not even talking about the fact that that there is no possibility that he will sit out. Anytime in training camp, the season or whatever, and that's a good sign. If he's that positive that the contract's going to be worked out, then the contract's going to be actually worked out. And I'm happy for that because, again, here's that we're going to have a ton of depth at that position as well, in terms of Thomas and Coleman and Snead and Lewis and and Ted Ginn Jr. I mean, that's 5 guys right there, or 6 guys right there. It's not even talking about the fact that we did sign 2 guys in terms of if everybody stays healthy, then that particular person is not gonna be anywhere near the field this year. Now, granted, Corey Fuller on a 1-year deal. You got Ted Ginn Jr., who's an aging player. You've got, everything's up in the air with 1-year deal. You got, everything's up in the air with Willie Snead. So we might very well need this guy. That remains to be seen. Signs, then that guy's going to end up being on the practice squad, at least for the first year. He's younger, he's bigger, but he's not necessarily faster than Ted Ginn Jr. Maybe two. Ted Ginn Jr. is still one step fast. The guy I'm out is a step and a half fast. You know, you got out. I'm going down the list of positions, Alvin Kamara and all that stuff. We got to see what now. Anything in particular? Uh, let's see if there's anything in particular that I want to talk about. Hold on. I tell you what. Astros. See if there's anything on the Astros. I know put a guy on the DL. Concussion lands. Josh Reddick on the disabled list. I wonder who they're going to bring up. Lance McCullers 5-5. Fisher. Let's see what they talk about with this Derek Fisher guy. Let's see here. Houston Astros, Derek Fisher as a pinch runner on a pass by during the sixth inning of the Major League exhibition game in Minnesota, so on and so forth. Outfield prospect Derek Fisher from Class AAA Fresno Day to fill the roster spot of Josh Reddick, who was placed on the 7-day concussion disabled list. Fisher, 23, batted 335 with on base and slugging percentage of 401 and 608 in 245 at bats. Play to clear a spot on the 40-man roster for Fisher. Transfer injured reliever John Del Gustav, who has a flexor strain, DL to the 60-day DL. Fisher, a toolsy left-handed hitting, the Astros' highest selected player, 37th overall, signed from the 2014 draft. He will wear number 21. Okay, that's all I have on that guy. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And that's all I got for this MFP report on YouTube. You can catch me. You can catch me on You Now, and you can catch me on Facebook Live on Friday nights at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. You can catch me on You Now Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Uh, uh, O'clock in the afternoon, and of course here on YouTube itself, you can catch me uh, from 6-ish Eastern, 5-ish Central Time to whenever I decide to end the show, and that's 30 p.m. I decide to end the show. You can also find me on Facebook at Mike Pasqua or the MFP Report. You can find me at the Canary's Cry, and you can find me on uh, Instagram at Mike_J_Pasqua, or you can find my blog at whatiamscreaming.wordpress.com and mfpsthoughts.com. And this has been the MFP Report for June 14th, 2017.